Hi, welcome. My name is Chef Fernando Mojica. I am with Columbus State Hospitality Programs. We welcome you to our innovation kitchen. Today we're going to show you how to do pan-seared scallops. We will show you a couple different recipes in this video. We're going to serve our scallops with pan-seared. We're going to make a succotash to go with them, and then we're also going to do a beurre blanc or a butter sauce, right? So what we're going to do, I'll introduce you to the ingredients and kind of walk you through the video, right? So scallops, we just bought these. These are U10 scallops, larger size. You can certainly use the smaller ones if you wanted to. We just like the little larger ones for presentation purposes. For the succotash, we're going to have just about a half a cup of red peppers. We are going to dice these. We have some edamame here, just about a half a cup as well. About a half a cup of white onions, about a half a cup of zucchini. Now you can use lima beans if you have them available instead of the edamame, and you can certainly use other summer squash for this as well. We have about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of corn, and a little bit of chives, and a little bit of parsley. A little salt, little pepper, and a little bit of oil. So we'll start with those, and then we'll walk you through the sauce and start cooking. So for your butter sauce, we'll cover it. So for the butter sauce, we're going to need a little bit of white balsamic vinegar or white wine vinegar. If you don't have that, you can certainly use just regular vinegar, white vinegar, that's fine. You can even maybe use a little bit of cider vinegar if you wanted to, give a little bit of flavor, different flavor, but certainly use that. We have about a half a cup of that. We have just one shallot. We slice the shallot thin. We have about 2 ounces of cream. We have the juice of one orange. We're gonna use, give it a little bit of a different flavor to the sauce. So we have orange juice here. You can certainly use lime juice if you wanted to, or you can just completely leave it out, but just to give a little bit more depth of flavor. A couple of the sprigs of parsley and a couple of the sprigs of thyme. And then we have about 8 ounces of butter. Now that sounds like a lot of butter, but we may not need all of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine all of the first ingredients. So we're going to put our herbs in here. We're going to put our vinegar. We're going to put our shallots in here, and we're going to let these reduce. We're going to let this reduce over a high to medium heat until all of the liquid is almost gone. You almost want it to resemble a wet paste. So we'll let those go for a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So we're gonna start cutting the vegetables. We have our sauce going here, reducing. We're gonna cut this into a small dice, so just about an 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch or so. So we're gonna start by making a flat side here, so it gives a little bit of room and support. So we're gonna cut some planks here, and then easiest way to cut it, again, we're looking for a little bit of a medium dice, or I'm sorry, a small dice, about 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. So you want to put your knife, be careful laying your hand flat on top of the onion. You don't want to cut yourself, but easiest way to do it is take your knife, do a little bit of an incision horizontally here. You don't want to go all the way. You want to kind of let the onion stay together here at the end, and so it can hold itself together. And then you want to come around and do vertically, but you want to go a little bit of an angle, this natural angle of the onion here. And then you want to turn the onion, and you want to come around and finish up this cut right here. So we'll cut these. The easiest way to clean and cut the pepper so you don't have a lot of the seeds in your cutting board is take a whole pepper, cut at the end right here horizontally. We're going to save that. We're going to cut the other end, save that because we'll use that. And then you take your knife, cut an incision there, and then rotate your knife and rotate the pepper. And now you have your seeds are in one solid piece and not all over the cutting board. And then same thing, you're going to cut this into a small dice. All right, so we're ready with our succotash. We have all of our ingredients cut now. It does seem like we're jumping back and forth, right? But one of the things that we're trying to point out with this video is the skill of doing various components of your dish at the same time, or working multiple projects at the same time, so that when you are done with these, everything is finished cooking at the same time. So we haven't even touched our scallops yet, because those won't take very long. We're working on our sauce, working on our succotash. So while we were cutting our succotash, we reduced the liquid. You can see this liquid's almost gone, right? We're gonna add our cream into these. Now, normally a beurre blanc, one thing to point out is normally a beurre blanc, it's only consisting of butter, right? Beurre blanc is French for white butter. Now, we're adding a little bit of cream just to give it some of a stabilization. What that means is it won't separate on you as fast. It will last you just a little bit longer. So that's the reason behind the heavy cream. You certainly don't need this in a traditional beurre blanc. You wouldn't. But we're going to add this just for stabilization purposes, so that it's easier to work with. So we added our cream. We're going to let this reduce again until it is almost completely gone. So it's going to take about anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, but you want the cream to be almost completely gone. You don't want to boil it because you don't want it to curl on you. And after that, we'll start adding our butter. In the meantime, we're going to go start our succotash. All right, so the succotash, we're going to put a little bit of oil here, just enough to warm, to cover the bottom of the pan. You don't want a lot of it, maybe a couple tablespoons or so. We're going to start with our peppers and our onions. We have our onions and our peppers in here. We're going to let this cook just about 5 minutes or so, so they start to get nice and soft. And then we'll go ahead and add our zucchini, and we'll go ahead and add our edamame here in a minute. It's been cooking for a few minutes now. We're going to go ahead and add our edamame here. Then we're going to go ahead and add our corn that we have. And we're going to add the squash. We're going to season this with a little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. And then we'll let this cook for about another 5 minutes or so, so that all the vegetables start to cook and start to go all the way through and start to marry flavors together. And after that, we'll finish the dish. We're going to go ahead and start searing the scallops for the dish now. One of the things we're trying to show you in this video is how to work different components, right? If you're watching this and you're interested in coming to culinary school, these are some of the things you will learn. Or if you're in the restaurant already, or if you're looking into going to the restaurant industry, multitasking and little things like that is some of the things that you'll learn. If you're at home, this is just a more effective way to produce a dinner without having to spend a lot of time producing each of the ingredients separately, right? So for the scallops, we have a little bit of a little bit of oil in our pan, a couple of tablespoons or so. We are going to season the scallops with a little bit of salt and white pepper. Some of the other videos we've talked about why we use white pepper, just because of the look of the white protein, so it doesn't look like there's a specks of dust in there. So our pan is nice and hot. We're going to take our scallops and give it a nice sear until they're golden brown. Now you do not want to overcrowd the pan here, because you don't want to steam them. You don't want any of the liquid or water that may come out of the scallops. So you want to make sure that your pan is nice and spread. The scallops are nice and spread around. So these only cook for about a minute or so. We're going to start flipping them here. Again, you can see how nice and golden brown they are. So we're going to flip them, and then we are going to put this in an oven. You can certainly finish them in the pan. But you can also put them in a 300-degree oven for only about 5 to 7 minutes. It won't take very much longer than that. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put them in the oven and finish cooking them. Our succotash is almost ready. We're going to finish the sauce, and by the time the scallops are done, we'll have our succotash ready and our sauce ready, and we'll be ready to serve. So our scallops are in the oven, our succotash is almost ready. We're going to finish our sauce here now. Here's the emulsion part of it, right? So our cream is almost reduced here. It's almost all of it is almost gone. You can see it's only just a few tablespoons in there. So we're going to take our butter that we had earlier, and what we're going to do is we're going to slowly add the butter over a low heat only a few pieces at a time. And we're going to whisk this butter. This is creating an emulsion, right? So the low heat is going to melt the butter is going to melt into your cream. So you don't want to add all the butter all at once because that will not create a small emulsion. So a couple bite-sized pieces at a time. Once those are melted, you can go ahead and start adding more. And we'll keep adding all this butter until almost all of it is gone and your sauce is thickening. And I will show you here in a minute, but what you're looking for is you want the sauce to coat the back of the spoon. It's something we call nappe. So we'll start keeping adding this butter. Butter is added in. As you can see, the sauce is still a little bit thick, so we're gonna go back and take some of the orange juice and we're going to add and finish it up, and that will thin out the sauce a little bit. And now we talk about it being a nappe consistency. So as you can see, we have a spoon here, and if we put that, it covers the back of the spoon. So that's the consistency you're looking for. Now, sauce is done, right? The succotash is done at this point. What we want to do before the scallops come out of the oven, we want to strain the sauce and remove those shallots that we had in there at the time, and then we'll be ready to serve. Our scallops just came out of the oven. Now what we're going to do is something called basting. We're going to take a little bit of the butter in a spring of thyme. We're going to throw that in the pan, and we're going to throw a little bit of butter. You don't want a lot, just maybe about a tablespoon or so. What this is going to do is we're going to take some of that liquid that's already in there and a little bit of butter, and we're going to melt the butter over here. You want to tilt your pan a little bit, and as the butter is melting, you want to take some of that liquid and throw it right on top of the scallops. This is going to just give the scallops a little bit more depth of flavor because you're glazing essentially the scallops right back into the pan. And after you do that, we are ready to serve. At this point, we have our scallops ready, we have our succotash ready, and we have our sauce ready. So we finished basting our scallops. Now, as you can see, all of our components are ready. Again, the succotash, all we did was season it after it was done, salt, pepper, a little bit of those herbs that we had earlier, the chives and the parsley and so on. We have our sauce ready to go. As you can see, here's a nice consistency. We strain it. So again, real simple. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some cool techniques out of this, and we're gonna go ahead and serve these, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Rayleigh Harper with the School of Hospitality Management and Culinary Arts at Columbus State Community College. We hope you're enjoying our new YouTube channel and would love for you to subscribe to see more videos and chef demonstrations. Also, please visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Lastly, you can visit cscc.edu, the Hospitality Department page, if you would like to learn more information about our programs and our school.